Hello, I am E. Christopher Clark, and this is EC Sees It. And what is EC seeing today? A box. A very small box. Not as, well, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Inside this box, my family's first new digital camera since 2003. A birthday present. Can't really. Scissors. Somebody's going to freeze frame that, and it's going to be awesome. So, I'm going to open it. Basically, we had... Let's see, you may have seen this in a previous video, but here you go. This was our previous camera, the Kodak EasyShare DX4530. And the problem with it, you may remember, is that the battery compartment does not stay shut. So we've been without, we jury-rigged, I never know if it's jury-rigged or jerry-rigged. Either way, I'm sure it's probably offensive. We made it work for a little while, and then we just gave up because the thing kept falling out, kept resetting our date, blah, 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 blah. Just terrible, terrible stuff. And then ended up just using the iPhone camera, which has taken some pretty good shots, but we have a new baby on the way, and we would really like to have a good camera for the baby and for our current child and for all the cool stuff that we do. So here we go. While I'm opening it, I have to say thank you to DJ Steen, who gave me invaluable advice on the camera. A lot of other people did too, but Derek sort of went above and beyond the Call of Duty, as he often does, because he is awesome. And bubble packaging. Got a lot of good advice. One thing that was really important was that I went down to the local camera store, which I had never been down to. I usually, when it came to testing these things out, I went to Best Buy, Circuit City, back when Circuit City was open. Never went to a camera store and tested any of the higher end models, and it turned out that Best Buy did not have the camera, either of the cameras I was looking at, and so it required a trip to the camera store, and that was educational too. I got to play around with them, and I don't know, you go to a dedicated camera store, you are allowed to play around with them much more than you are at Best Buy, and the people there know what they're talking about. Not to slight people at Best Buy, I'm sure some of them know what they're talking about, but anyway, so can't resist doing stupid stuff like that. That's just me. So box open, and here we go, upside down. What we decided on was the Panasonic Lumix ZS3, or ZS3, which I guess in other parts of the world is the TZ7. Z. There's a guy, gosh, I can't remember which site he's from, who does, who British, or has some sort of, maybe not British, maybe he's from New Zealand for all I know. I don't know. He has a nice accent, and he says Z instead of Z. So anyway, it's a 10.1 megapixel camera, 12 times optical zoom. My wife really wanted the really great zoom, which I initially wasn't like whatever. I was whatever about, but then I sort of saw some of the things you can do with it and was really impressed. This one, unlike the Canon that we compared it with, they both have great movie modes, but the Canon we compared it with doesn't allow you to zoom when shooting video. They both have 720p video, which is great. Anyway, so all stuff you could probably find out. You're here for the unboxing, aren't you? This is a long episode of EC Sees It. What this has to do with storytelling, I don't know, but it feels like an episode of EC Sees It to me, and that's what it's going to be. So, opening up, it's a really nice, relatively nice package. Small package, that's good. We get box contains over here, and just in case you didn't know how to open it or what everything is, And here's everything. So let's see. I'll hold it up like this so we can, you know, it's not Apple packaging, but you know, what is, right? I'll open it up and we have a Lumix CD, which will probably never go into my computer. That's the great thing about having a Mac, right? Just plug it in. I don't know, there might be something on there. It's not going to be the first thing I do. We have the manual. Who the heck was it that said this yesterday? I don't know. But, oh, it was the other day watching Techzilla, and they said more than one time, RTFM, read the frackin' manual, and I will be doing that. I want to know what this thing can do. The manual looks, it's bigger print than the Kodak manual. The Kodak manual, I gotta say, I don't think it's around here anywhere. No. The Kodak manual is about half this size. So like, whatever, half that size, and was hard to read and hard to find anything in and whatever. Okay, so underneath the manual and the CD, we have our AV cables. Yep, some AV cable, including AV cable and a USB cable. We have a wrist strap. We have a charger for the battery, always a good thing. A random piece of plastic, although maybe this is for the battery to sit in. We have the battery itself. And the main thing, of course, the camera, which comes in, I don't even know what you'd call this fabric that it's wrapped in. This is a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker of a camera than I was looking at, but you know, I was initially looking at one of those really thin Canons that can just slip in your pocket, almost as thin as an iPhone, because I wanted something that I'm going to take with me, because the camera you take with you is the camera that gets used. Let's take a look. On the top you have a stereo microphone. That was one of the things that swayed me from this as opposed to the Canon. A dedicated movie mode button, so you don't have to go through the dial to find the movie mode. Just press that wherever you're at and you can start making a movie. Nice big screen. Here, let me see if yeah, there you can go. Kind of get that. You can see my dock now. Look at, there's my dock in the reflection. Ooh. Big old lens, big old whatever. And now the one thing I'd heard about this was that there's this big dead space in the dial. Can you see that? You get half the dial has little icons on it, and then the other half has nothing. And if you're in that half that has nothing, then you can potentially not be able to take photos. Also, the shutter button, the clicker, is over here. Most people are used to it being over here, so you gotta reach over, and I could see the possibility of, you know, my finger making this thing go out of whack. That might be a problem. Stay tuned. We'll see. Not a problem long term. Of course, on the bottom you've got the nice little thing for your tripod. All of these things probably like, oh Chris, what are you geeking out about this stuff for? It's a camera. Well, keep in mind this right here. This is what I'm going to. Let's look at the size. Not a huge difference, but there's a difference. Definitely a difference. Maybe not that much of a difference. I don't know. It's a better camera, but in terms of size, it might not be that much smaller. I'm dying to try it out. I don't know if the battery is going to work here, but let's go for it. We're at 9 minutes. If you're still watching, you are awesome. You are awesome, and you should leave a comment down there and tell me why you're awesome. Well, no, don't. I know why you're awesome, but tell me something about yourself so I know who the awesome people visiting are. I'm guessing it needs to go in. No? No? Well, there's a couple of little connector things. There we go. Battery's in there. Ooh. A little plastic piece holds the battery in place. I'm not a big fan of that because that, of course, it's a tiny little plastic piece that holds the battery in place on my Kodak, and that, of course, was a problem. But everything, you know, all in all, it feels very solid. The Kodak feels very plastic. It's lighter. I think this actually weighs more, but it feels solid. And I like the fact that it feels solid. It feels a little bit more like a real camera to me. Let's see if the battery is charged. There we go. I have to set the clock. It is not AM, it is PM. Right now, as we film this, it is 5:29. The UPS guys came rather late in the day. I'm sure you're all enthralled by me setting the time, but let's see. It is November 13th, and you know what that means? That means that even though this is a birthday present for Stephanie and me, but the real important thing is that today is my dad's birthday. So it took us almost a month after our own birthdays to get our birthday present. My birthday present to my dad is going to be a phone call and something else later, I'm sure, but I had to give my dad a call. So I better stop. Well, no, he's not bad. All sorts of not important stuff. But I almost have this set. Pictures will be recorded to built-in memory. We are on intelligent auto mode. I'm not sure that I want this to be my very first picture. My very first picture has a big flash on the screen, and now you're all blind. Aren't I nice? So pretty cool. I want to see the movie mode. I want to see if it'll actually do any movies. Oh, nope, it will not. No movies for me. Because it doesn't have a memory card. That's the last thing. I'll leave you with this. The camera showed up today. The memory card coming from a different vendor. So we have no memory card. I think I have an old, in here, an old SD card that's not going to do a lot with because this is a 5 megapixel. It's a gig. I mean, it'll take some photos. It's not going to take any video. But that's all right. Batteries doesn't have a lot of charge on it, so I better charge the battery. That's what I'm thinking. First, I'm going to go show my wife. Then I'm going to call my dad and wish him a happy birthday. But first, I'm going to say to you, thank you for watching me unbox my camera, which I am thrilled about and which will hopefully help me tell some stories in the near future. 13 minutes in, if you're still with me, you rock. Leave a comment. I'm E. Christopher Clark from GeekForce5.com and eChristopherClark.com, and I'll catch you on the flip side.